30 seconds, we're gonna go live.
What's up, everybody? Just wanted to...
Okay, sending the Zoom link. It should go now.
All right. Good evening and welcome to the Poetry of Justice show with JackieRay Phillips on YikesRadio.com and AccelerateRadio.net. Now you know, guys, here on the Poetry of Justice show, where social consciousness meets the arts, what we do is we select topics that spark the interest and awareness of social diversity, ranging from arts, entertainment, and social justice at large, leaving our listeners thinking and saying in unison, ladies.
Yikes!
Ladies and gentlemen, those are the sultry sounds of my mentor, the Mr. Kevin Nash. And Mr. Kevin Nash is the owner of Yikes Radio and Accelerated Radio. And so what I always do is I give love and honor and respect to Mr. Kevin Nash, because if it was not for him and his passion and what he so loves to do, it wouldn't be possible for me to do what I so very much love to do. And then I'm going to get a very special shout out to our benefactor, Miss Lori Ray Fisher, Lori G of the chat. How are you doing tonight, Lori G?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm well. Lori G is always rolling with us. She's the executive producer of the show. And then I have to give a very, very, very special shout out to sponsorship from the ladies of the chat. One of the hallmarks of the Poetry of Justice show here is with us tonight, Miss Shelly C of the chat. How are you tonight, Miss Shelly?
Wonderful. Hey, hey, hey.
And ladies and gentlemen, you can follow these two lovely ladies on Facebook as well, Lori Ray Fisher, as well as Shelly, S-H-E-L-I, Shelly Carter. So just want to put that plug out there. And so from there, I'd like to give a very, 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 very special shout out to one of our newer sponsorships, which is G Babies Catering. And that's GBABBIES catering. And you can find Chef Matt on Instagram. That's the best way you want to get in touch with him. Go to his page. You can take a look at some of his latest recipes, ideas, and check him out. So that's really, really an awesome time. And then I also want to give a very, very special shout out to a dear friend, radio show, Mr. Tweed Cadillac, baby. And you can get that at 93. Tweet FM on Thursday nights. That's a good place that you want to go. And then, hey, Jerome, we want to give a very special shout out to WMPJ Steelworks and APS Muscle Cars. So let me tell you a little bit about APS Muscle Cars. They've got some expansion that's going on, guys. And so there's a new facility in Signal Hill. And what we're doing over there is storage for, and we say, high-end vehicles, but whatever vehicle you may have, if you have your toys and you need some place to store it, this is the person you want to talk to, everybody. And his name is Memo, and that's M-E-M-O with APSmusclecars.com. And then there's also some inventory there of recent rebuild and some custom work that you may want to take a look at. You may be interested in picking up a ride. So check that out, everybody. And so that's us, the Poetry of Justice show. The ladies of the chat, Accelerated Radio, and YikesRadio.com. How you doing tonight, Shelly C?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. And then Miss Lori G of the chat, how are you doing tonight?
Doing good. I'd like to say hello to our cousin Gerald, joining us all the way from Florida.
Whoa, so she's Florida?
Oh.
Florida's in the house, everybody. And we want to say good evening to William. This is from our Facebook world, Shelly C and Lori G. We got Douglas Taylor in the house. Hello, Papa. How you doing, cousin? And we got cousin Mika Smith in the house. We got that Ray side popping up in here tonight. What's up, Meg? How you doing? Always good to have you. And Lord, guess who? Therm is here. Therm is in the house tonight.
Hey, Therm. How you doing?
Lori says, hey, Therm. How you doing? And then, of course, like I say again, Jerome Davis. It's always an honor, Jerome. Thank you so much. I know you've been rolling with me lately, and I really appreciate it. All love, all family love. And Eric Moore, how are you doing tonight? So we're going to be talking about relationships. We're just going to be loosey-goosey tonight. You know, usually we're so stoic and intense, and Lori and I are like, oh, and behind the scenes, and Shelly, and it's always like really, really wild. But tonight we decided we're just going to jump in here. We are not going to worry too much about format and timing and all that. It's always like a theater project, if you will, Lori, behind the scenes. But it's intense. But anyway, so tonight we're going to have some fun. We're going to be a little looser. So I hope everybody's going to have some fun with us. So Shelly C, I'm going to give the ball over to Shelly, everybody, because Shelly's going to intro us tonight and get us to lift us up. So Shelly's going to get this train on the road. Shelly C, tonight you got some great, well, let me just let our fans know this, Shelly, that last week it was the ladies of the chat were here, and we had Shelly C in the house, and the conversation got really, really intense, and we talked a lot about a lot of different things. But what I want to say is with Shelly, one of the things that picked up the most over the course of the week was talking about relationships, particularly like Black men and women. We had a guest on the show that kind of believed that Black men are not treated as fairly as they should be, or as the way they used to be, you know, kind of back in the day. And so it sparked a lot of attention, and we've got a lot of different commentary over the course of the week, people still kind of asking about it and wanting to know like what's up. So we're bringing that back to the show tonight. And so Shelly C, take us on this journey tonight, sis.
Yeah, so
There you go. Hey, Tap.
Hey, Lori.
Hey, Tap.
Oh, you got Tap in the show.
Great.
New York in the house, guys. Tapper.
New York in the house.
Male perspective. Hey, Eric. Hi, Meg. I'm going to be quiet. You ready? Shut up. Go, Shelly.
So we talked about last week, we were talking about entanglements. We did speak a little on Will and Jada and their relationship, but we also kind of got personal on the male and the female relationship and marriage, more so marriage, and just that the arrangement that Will and Jada had, and how they had an entanglement. And there's been rumors for years that there has been more than just an entanglement, but more of an open marriage. But they seem to kind of shunned it off and tried to keep their business to themselves. And they did pretty much until, 4 years ago when Jada had an entanglement with August, or I call him Alcina, and he came out with it. There's been different versions of the story, but I'm a conspiracy theorist. So as I was mentioning to Lori earlier today, I just think there's a method to everything, and I don't leave anything out when it comes to show business and trying to boost careers. And for so long, Will and Jada were quiet about their relationship, even when people said it was an open marriage, or that she and he had mentioned that it was an open marriage, but there was always rumors. And I'm finding out that not only is it rumors, just for us as fans, but also even in the music industry, or in the industry in which they both work, they have their own theories and gossip circles and things that they hear. And it's been pretty deep. And I think the conversation has been pretty deep about Will and Jada and August for the last, 3 weeks?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know. The more I hear, I could get different stories. But one of the stories, I hear is that Will agreed to it. And in my research and what I've seen over the years, it's all fine and dandy. Even if you do have an open relationship or an open marriage, it's all fine and dandy until feelings get involved. And once feelings get involved and feelings get hurt, then everybody's got something to say. So because Will and Jada has been able to keep it a secret for a while, I think once Og spoke up, I think feelings began to start, to get hurt, and it kind of brought out everybody.
But Shelly, do you think those hurt feelings is what caused him to even come out with this story? You see what I'm saying?
What do you mean by that?
Meaning, like, perhaps his feelings got hurt, and then he ran to the media because he feeling some kind of way, right? And so Jada then got what she needed and was like,
yeah.
And then he feeling some kind of like, oh my God, you can't just kick me to the curb like that. And she like, yeah. And then he feeling some kind of, okay, well, I'm gonna fuck your shit up, so I'm gonna go run.
That's fine. That is a theory. That
could be a theory. I know he did.
That is a theory.
The theory I heard was from this video you sent me, Shelly C, which was Vivica Fox and Lisa Ray and these two other ladies that I don't know. And the interesting thing was that they said this was released right around the time he's dropping this album.
Exactly. And I think
so isn't it strange that this happened 4 years ago, but nobody heard anything until
exactly.
So I don't know.
4 years. Why after 4 years? Because now he's getting ready to release this big album. Like I said, there's this conspiracy theory. I don't know if you guys, one of the ladies from the chat, this is for our audience, one of the ladies from the chat, Tanya, Michelle, she's not with us tonight, and she may join us, but she did mention that this song with August and Rick Ross behind Entanglement and Sheets and all that kind of stuff. And she was thinking, or her mention was that it just came out. But I'm like, the series of events just they all add up. Like Shalina Johnson was saying on the four ladies that were speaking on it, with Lisa Ray and Vivica and Claudia, they were saying that all of this is just too much in line. It makes too much sense for all of a sudden. It's been 4 years. We've never heard anything about them having entanglements. We've had rumors about them maybe having an open marriage, but now all of a sudden he comes out with this, then the song comes out, now he's coming out with an album. So
what do they say in Hollywood? All publicity is good publicity, right?
Exactly, whether it's bad or good. I mean, that's why Jussie Smollett, he had the little noose around his neck and he paid people.
Not Jussie.
You know what I'm saying? Is it Jussie?
Jussie? Where is he now?
Quiet now because they done uncovered his whole shenanigans.
Yeah, people do have shenanigans. Big time.
And he was at the point, and he was doing good to me. I think he wanted more money. That's what I heard. That's what I read. He wanted more money. So in order for him to blow up, he felt negative publicity was better than no publicity or positive publicity at all. He thought he was worth more money. Then
I think that was just dumb. That was just dumb.
Yes, it was dumb.
Because I don't make the connection, and maybe I'm slow. But what's the connection between people putting a noose around my neck and racism and the MAGA hat and all of that, and me getting a raise at my job?
He thought his popularity.
You gonna do that to get a raise at your job? Is that how you get a raise at your job?
Yeah, you ain't gonna put around my neck. No, that's not gonna happen.
I'm like, come on. I don't know. What you think about it, chap? You putting a noose around your neck to get a raise at your spot? Huh? Is that going down?
You don't even want me to.
But Lori, what other reason?
Fill in the blanks. That's some shit.
Right, but what other reason would he do it? I mean, that's what the media claimed. The media claimed that he did all that because he was looking for a raise. He thought he should be paid more
crazy.
Than cookie. I'm just
That's
saying.
Crazy.
And so sometimes people think that if I get your attention, just like little kids, and don't matter what kind of attention.
My thing is, how did you not know that was gonna come out? How did you? I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm not a big risk taker.
He thought he paid the little people, and they was just gonna go away.
Come on, in a hot spot like Chicago, it's like maybe if you was in Wyoming or Idaho, maybe that would just go away, right? But you in Chicago?
He said
I mean, you can't. You're not gonna get away in Chicago. You're not gonna get away in New York. You're not gonna get away in LA. You know, there are places that's just not gonna work.
maybe Idaho or Wyoming or something like
That's
that.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Even Kansas, you might get away in Kansas, but like you couldn't get away in St. Louis. That's not gonna happen in St. Louis.
But Lori, he had to do a big, girl. He had to do a big.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe what's the little boy named August? Oh, and I love Vivica called him a child. She said
Wow.
with the baby. She called him a baby. 'Cause I guess he just turned 28.
Mm-hmm.
And Lisa Ray, I haven't seen Lisa Ray like a million years, but she looks beautiful. She really does. And her point was, how do you go from nursing somebody off of drugs? Because I guess he had a drug addiction that the Smith family helped him with. How do you go? Okay, so no, really, I didn't know he had a drug addiction, but this is what Lisa Ray said.
He said, how do you go from my lap to the dick? How did you just
Yeah,
fall off?
she said it. How do you just like stumble onto it? I don't know what happens. I was like, wow, Lisa. That's
real talk.
That's real talk. I don't know what happened.
How do you go to being my savior and then all of a sudden you just fall on my dick? I don't understand. That's what.
Wow.
I
don't know.
What did Gerald say?
No, I was just thinking of Rashid. I was going to tell Rashid, man, look, Rashid, we got some flavor here. Look at Lori's braid. Sheila, her new do, and Jackie's looking good. We got 3 ladies here. What we gonna do, Rob? Ladies here, huh?
Oh man.
Yes.
Everybody looking all nice and
Derek laughing at you.
Oh man.
yeah, I know, Rob, man. We gotta step it up, baby.
It's good. What's up, guys?
So that was
trials and tribulations, but we can do it.
that was funny what Sheila said. She fell on his joint.
That's what Lisa Ray said. She said that she wanted to know how that happened. How do you go from helping someone to just falling on it?
Yeah, in fact, but went from the help button to the D button. That's,
Right.
Yep.
Right.
But you know what? In all fairness, I can see how that happened. Right?
So let me ask you, ladies.
I can see how that happened.
Oh, do you see? Oh, okay. Do you see how that happened? Did you take a look at this guy, August? What did he look like? I don't even know what he looked like. What did he look like?
Hold on. Let me.
You got some for me? Hey guys, from Facebook, Terry Lampkin says that Jada needs to be ashamed of herself. She wanted some. Yeah, she said she wanted the young dick, and that's just it. Just straight up. That's it. Straight up. She wanted the young dick, and she ought to be ashamed of herself.
Well, she did say that she just wanted to feel good.
She did say that.
Because she hadn't felt good in a long time. And she
said that too.
Shit, I want to step my game up like Jada. I want to feel good too. I've been.
Shit. That's crazy.
Get it. So maybe it was all about boosting her ego and making herself feel good, you know?
That's what I'm saying. She had to do she did what she had to do, Shelly.
Right. Because if you don't want me, I can go somewhere and get something. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I really think this little August person, you know, he needed something to make his song. Rashid just put in the chat that he made a song about it, and he just released the song about 6 days ago.
Well,
if you want to actually see who it looks like, you can just click that link right there.
Okay, so we're gonna take a look, guys.
Can you bring his picture up on the screen, Rashid?
Okay,
can you share?
Rashid.
I'm
gonna give you permission to share.
Okay.
Okay, Rashid.
Okay, so now you should be able to share his picture for all of our viewers.
Okay, Rashid, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
How is it that you came up with a song that was written by somebody else in the last 6 days with Rick Ross and you on a video together? I mean, just the series of events just seem to, now there's different series.
Oh no, this was pre-planned.
That's what I'm saying.
This was pre-planned. In fact, this was premeditated because you already had the song made.
Right.
Right.
So Fagamo, you come out with a press conference and you basically spilling the tea of what happened. And so you give the hints of what happened. You have her go on the Red Table Talk, and then you release the track, basically giving all the details of what happened.
Right.
But yes, as you can see right here, this is August right here.
Yep.
Here we go, guys. This is August.
Yeah, I see the yeah.
All right, so Gerald, now you good?
You good, Gerald?
You know, he look like a young boy to me.
He is. He 28.
He's literally the same age as me right now.
Right.
See?
Yeah.
Look, Shelly.
Right. Because I love the little kids.
I thought just.
I understand. I understand.
Shelly love the kids.
You love the kids, Shelly?
I understand Jada's whole point of view. I get it. I totally get it.
Look, Big Deck says
She don't have to be his mom though.
I know, she said what I know. But she said,
what you say, Sheila, you say like the young boys.
I love the little kids. I do.
She love the children.
I do.
Hold on.
I need an adult right now. I need an adult.
That don't sound right.
Right.
We all like
For me,
I
okay,
like kids.
Jack,
I got
let me clarify. I get a reputation. Let me clarify. Okay, August over 18, right?
Yeah.
I
didn't had my kids. I didn't been married.
She always say that.
If me and my husband is taking a break, what's wrong with me looking at Og? I don't understand. If it makes me feel good to be with a young buck, why not? And if I can hang, why not?
Why not?
Like, Tanya Michelle says, "Speak, Shelly, speak."
Ooh.
I
And my children, and you want to break?
Okay. Right now.
Break, buck.
I think that's what
That's
my wife.
crazy.
Tap said
Look, Shelly, Dex is saying from Facebook, he's letting you know that he will be 20 tomorrow. He said,
I love it.
Dex says that he gets $20 million plus and the movie wasn't cutting it for old boy, so he just went for his. And Meg said, why not? I'm with Meg. Meg is like, go for it.
Yeah.
I guess we're on to something, people. So,
I don't know here. Absolutely.
I mean, you know, if it works, I mean, but is that, what is that? Is that treachery? Is that some sort of treason?
No.
Is that some sort of, I mean, for him to use this as a marketing ploy, is that just, smart? He just out-funked them? I know that's so not a word.
Well, I think it is smart because basically y'all live in the limelight. Y'all rolling in diamonds and pearls and shit. And Jada was getting tossed up on a regular, and here I am struggling, trying to make it, and I got 3 kids. Why not? Why don't y'all help me? Why don't y'all help me? Why not? That's a theory. That's a theory.
Right.
I'm just saying, why not? Why not help?
Guys. Gerald Barnes was saying that all this time he has been under the impression that women like men and not boys.
Well,
it depends on the
what
situation.
You say about that, Shelly C?
I say it depends on the situation. If we just taking a break and I'm about to have fun, yeah, we love little kids. But then when it comes time to yeah, we not doing this right now, and I'm taking a break. I love the little kids.
Shelly,
take care, huh?
Shelly, Shelly said, Meg said that they got to be 21, Shelly, not 18. She said 21. She said because she might need his ass to go to the liquor store. So in case
I was thinking of going to the store. I was thinking of going to the store myself, but you know what? She right. She right.
You know what, Shelly? You my girl. You my dog. But I can't mess with the kids. I'm sorry. I just cannot. I'm not down for the kids. No. Actually, I'm more interested in the geriatric sector. That's where I'm looking at.
No.
I'm looking for the geriatric section.
I think that's too much, Lori.
Geriatric. Hey, don't sleep on a geriatric.
I am geriatric. Boys are for fun. Okay, that's true. So you can do. That's gonna take it to the polygamy discussion. Like, Meg is just saying that boys are for fun and men are for being more serious.
Exactly. That's exactly what I just said.
Have your serious man, i.e. Will, her financial husband. And then she can play and be energized.
But I'm gonna want to go get him like a bottle of formula or something.
No, not at 18, Lori, believe me.
It's just like I can probably smell the Similac on his breath.
Hold your nose, hold your nose. Hold your nose, hold your nose. It's
no, close your nose. No, my God, Meg, I don't know what you guys. Tap, what is he thinking? What's Tap thinking?
Tap is quiet.
And where's Rashid?
No, I'm enjoying your discussion right now.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I think, you know what? I think recently I opened you guys up. You guys are, before it was a little like conservative. It ain't conservative no more.
Well, actually, we have
our ups and downs, Tap. Some shows are much more serious than we have our kickback, relax show.
Yeah, we wanted to relax today.
We've been really heavy lately.
I think when you have fun like this, it's very effective.
It's very what?
It's very effective. Like you get more listeners and
you learn something, don't you?
Yeah.
And you learn something. Absolutely, Shelley. You learn something.
It's just real people just having a good time, blessing each other, particularly in these daunting days and times that we all are living in right now. So it's just having some fun and respect and love and kindness and fairness. And
here's a question I have for the panel. A part of that interview that I saw, Shelley, that you forwarded with Lisa Ray and Vivica and the other two ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't a lady on there named Claudia or something like that?
Yes, Claudia.
Yes, Claudia. So I think Claudia said, how amazing of a love connection you have with someone that will love you through anything. So Will and Jada are still together through this whole episode. And I guess
he was almost through. He was very close to being through.
But she was saying that they found their way back and that they have decided that they love each other through anything, other people, the desire for other people.
Right.
One thing they know is that they will love each other till death.
I think everybody has their own deal breaker. I think everybody has it. And I think determining as a couple what the deal breaker is and determining what the deal breaker is for you individually, I think is what makes a marriage. And to be honest with you, I've seen it happen a couple of times, and I can speak from experience too. I think the deal breaker, you're fine with us being apart and saying, okay, I don't care what you do until you actually see what I do. And then all of a sudden your feelings is hurt and you don't know if you can deal with it or not. And I think that's what happened with Will. I think Will was okay until it was there. And then all of a sudden now my feelings is hurt. And now I don't know if I can deal with this and I'm almost through with you.
It's always.
But it sounded to me like, but what I heard, Shell, was that something had happened before this little boy that made them think they were not together. And that's why she had the relationship with the little boy. Or did I misunderstand?
Boy, please stop calling him little boy, please.
He is a little boy. Just saying.
Crazy tonight.
You said something happened before the little boy?
Yeah.
You don't have proof of that, but
that was made up.
There's always been rumors that there has been an open relationship. So to me, I don't understand what's the difference in the open relationship and what's the difference in, okay, we're going to take a break.
Well, see, because I learned a lot I was a guest on the G. Lou show probably a couple weeks ago. And I learned from that show what it means to have an open relationship. So the rules are, in an open relationship, you have to tell me and I have to agree. And if you go that path without the discussion, then you have violated the trust.
The agreement. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Og said that Will gave him permission.
Will said that he didn't.
Right.
I understand that's what Og said in his interview. That's what Og said, but I don't know if it's true or not. Og said Will gave permission, and that's why I brought up last week. Well, if Og gave permission, why is Will upset? I mean, if Will gave Og permission, why is Will upset? Why is he so outdone? Why is he so disembodied?
What do you think it could be, Shelly? Because like the time lapse is like, you know, come on, you finna come and bring this bullshit right now. You know what I mean? It's like, what?
Over
you know what I mean? Because like, you know what I mean? Like, you know that this was a swinger situation, you know, back then, low key. So why is you even coming at this like it's some tawdry affair? Perhaps.
Because he want to sell his albums.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. That's right. He wants to
Like, name a song. Do you know an Og song?
No, and
Name
no.
one. Tap.
No,
Do you know one of his songs?
I'm surprised that Sheila doesn't know the song is, because she calling him all.
See the little boy. Lori got me saying little boy. I'm surprised at that young man. I was surprised to even see him. I didn't even know who he was.
Wow, I didn't.
But now everybody do. Right?
I'm voting for the theory that he wanted to sell albums. He wanted to sell albums, and that's why he talked about it on the Charlemagne show.
And then Will was like, nah, you ain't coming out with my shit. I'm going to come out with my shit first.
Right.
I think,
come on, baby, let's just go on here and go on your show.
I think he wanted some older women like Sheila to call him all. Come here, old baby.
He's trying to get that cougar love.
That's true. That's true. Look. Dex is selling us for, like, you're right, Dex. Dex was saying if he wasn't upset about it, right, we wouldn't even be doing this whole topic right now. We wouldn't be talking about it. You know what I mean? So, hey, it's working for him. You know what I mean?
It is working for him. And I bet a lot of people went and listened to his album.
Yep, and his songs.
Yeah. Wow.
I mean,
that's why Will was looking at him like that, because he's like, oh, okay, so that's how you gonna do this. This is how your desperate attempt at startup. Okay, now it's kind of coming more clear to me, because when you see Will's face, he like, right?
Oh, that's what we're doing now.
Yo, you know
right?
what's
You
funny?
see Rashid?
We got a fourth.
Hey, Tanya.
We got a fourth new hairdo tonight. Look at Tanya. Looks nice. Looks nice, Tanya.
Man, this what happens when all the barbers are closed. This what happens.
Okay, Rashid.
Yeah.
Can you hear us, Tanya?
Wait,
Yeah.
you're okay, there you go.
What you got to say, Tanya Michelle? Do you think this was a publicity stunt with Og and Jada, or do you think it was something that was really serious?
I don't know. I'm all confused.
You confused?
I really don't know what it is. I was listening, and you know, some of the things that were said was, you know, really good points. I don't know if it is a publicity stunt. I really believe that, because I watched the Red Table a lot with Jada, and her and Will were definitely having some tough times. And I know their marriage was on the brink, and if they really separated, this, you know, this is something that actually happened. I don't know if the time that they were doing it, that they thought it was going to be a publicity stunt, or it just came to be one within the last, you know, this year or the last couple of weeks.
Hey guys, we have a caller. Caller?
Yeah, how you doing, Lori? Yikes Radio is the most exciting, and the bite is the business. That part is the port, Roddy Rod.
All right, Rod, how you doing?
All right, I got a little something, like about 20 seconds of what y'all talking about. I can hit you with it real quick if you want it.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, what a nice boat, the relationship, but will it float? Stay above water, sail in any kind of weather. Can you relate to me? Have a ship? I have a ship. If so, welcome aboard, mate. The love boat, I want you on board. Can you sail with me on this ship? You can be the skipper, I'll be the gipper. You must be concerned at all times about what happens. We could hit rough water, hurricanes, dangerous seas. We could also embrace the perfect storm. I know for sure you and I want nothing else but smooth sailing. We could get lost at sea, have mutiny on the Bounty. We could sail through shark-infested waters. Things can get so bad, we could have to send out a SOS, a distress signal, abandon ship. We could hit dangerous rocks, go down like the Titanic, get lost at sea. We need to have this ship blessed. Can you relate to this ship? Bon voyage, if you can't. Sail on, honey. The name of this ship is Let's Have a Relationship. Otherwise, let the ship go down. If we don't get it right, we will be lost. And everyone will know it was love on the rocks. Now alone again, I cast away. That part. With my rap.
All right, big snaps. Go ahead, Rod.
Well, y'all go ahead and get to y'all messing there. I want to hear we hear the stuff about the relationship. I heard something about somebody was making love to the boy, and the boy had a little bit of ding-a-ling or something like that. But I want to hear the rest of it.
All right, Rod. Thank you.
I'm just trying to love you, Jackie. Y'all the best. I'm looking forward to hearing what y'all got to say. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right, Rod.
Bye, boo.
Bye-bye.
Love you.
Love you too. All right,
Shelly C,
guys.
guys, I've got some commentary from Facebook, if that's okay.
That's okay.
You know, Big Dex is in the house, and so he says that he believes August is upset because it came out. Oh, maybe that Wills said because it came out, you know, so many years later. He says that he believes that August brought this out for sales. So he believes that theory, Shelly, that definitely. And like he was saying, basically at the end of the day, everybody's getting, you know, paid off of it, you know, so it is what it is.
Getting paid. Everybody's getting paid. Even Og is getting paid because now everybody's listening to that song. Everybody knows he's got a new album coming out. I mean, you know, again, there's different theories. I think I agree with Tanya. I think it's both. I think there was a storyline or there was a way that they wanted the story to roll out. You know, Og claims that it's because it was actually ruining him in the industry because, you know, the industry has their own little gossip circle. And so, you know, people didn't want to work with him or do work with him. They looked at him as a home wrecker. But I'm like, who's the first show business home wrecker? I mean, he would be the first that they would like boycott. So I don't know. There's so many different stories, but it just seems ironic to me the way everything came in sequence. And I think Will is upset because basically you broke the agreement. You wasn't supposed to come out with this.
Right.
We've been able to get away with this for 25 years, and now here you come. Basically.
What's the publicity steps? What's the benefit of this for Will and Jada?
The benefit for Will and Jada, I think Will and Jada wanted to tell their own story. It's kind of like Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart has gotten in trouble, or there was somebody that was blackmailing Kevin Hart. He said it on his own Instagram page. He was like, I don't want nobody to be trying to blackmail me and come out with my story. Let me tell y'all, I cheated. I cheated on my wife. So yeah, so whoever come out with the story, I'm coming out with it first. And I think that's how it went down. I think in some way or form, everybody wanted to benefit from this. And this is the only way that everybody could, right? Because Augie, right. And so are they. And Will gets to save his pride because Will and Jada like their stuff to be, undercover. They don't want you to know their business.
Yeah, that's why I don't know what the benefit is. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I just personally don't understand why I would publicly come out and say, me and my wife were separated.
Because Og came out with it.
Mm-hmm. I think Will and Jada's their response is they wanted to get in front of it. So
right, like control the narrative.
So Og leaked it.
Do you think that worked? Do you think it worked? Did they get it?
Did.
Yeah, I think it did because she had over 2 million. Was it, Lori? How many million was it that has looked at the red table so far?
I think it was like 2 million that have viewed it so far.
Over 2 million. But what about the children, everybody? Eric Moore was wondering, how do we think that the children feel, that they're children? You know what I'm saying? As we talk about this tonight. What's your opinion, Tanya Michelle, on the kids?
I don't know. You know, their son doesn't like his penis, so they got a lot of shit going on in the household. So I don't know what's going
Wow.
on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That was
I
a
didn't know that, LaTanya.
that he didn't connect with his penis and he wanted to get it cut off. So they have very open communication in that household, it seems like.
Too much.
The kids may already have known something. You know what I mean? They, you know, they're older, they may have seen some connection there. You know, kids see stuff. So, you know.
Well, I think the son is the one that brought Og to the house, right?
Yeah.
He was friends with him and he brought him there and the family took care of his health problems, right?
Right.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I think maybe the kids know. Because their kids are big kids, right?
Right. They're very
Hollywood kids.
well.
But just, you know, what they have to go through psychologically, you know what I mean, on top of everything else, I'm sure
That's
being
the
under
part
that
I hate.
limelight.
I hate for them to have to know that because I think adult business should be kept separate from the kids. But again, I wasn't, you know, I'm not in the limelight. So when you're in the limelight, it's a little difficult to keep your business from the kids. But to me, adult business should be kept separate from the kids. That's just my opinion.
But they separated, so the kids had to know.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they did. I mean, in watching some, because you know I watch crime scene investigation, but watching this swinger couple on that show, the kids was like, we knew something wasn't right because like when we would go away for the weekend or go to grandma's, our pillows would be different because they were swinging in the house. You know, our pillows would be different or our sheets would be changed or, you know, it's like, and we kind of figured because it was different people coming in. Come on now, kids, they ain't that dumb.
That's a question. What about swingers?
What
about
swingers,
that?
I think.
Let's put that on the table.
Let's put that on the table.
Let's chop that up for a minute.
Swingers. I'm okay. Okay, let's go. I'm sorry. Am I on or off? I'm sorry. No, you hate me guys. Terry Lampkin says that their kids are weird, right? Shelly said, like Tanya Michelle was saying, and that Dwayne Wade's son also don't connect. Wow. I didn't know that, Lori, in the ladies of the chat, Rashid. Gerald, did you guys know that Dwayne Wade's son also does not connect with his penis? And he too would like to have his penis cut off.
Yeah, he identifies as a she.
Is that Zayda? That's the one that it says she thinks she's a female, right? She's about 12, 13?
Yeah, I think that child's going through the change, right, Tanya?
Transgender.
Yeah, they're under the transgender process.
Alrighty then.
Mm-hmm.
That is just the way it goes.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I have no commentary on that regard, Terry Lampkin. I appreciate you so very much. That's just the way it is. Swingers on the table.
Swingers.
Tanya Michelle.
All right. Tanya,
let's just vote. Maybe we go around the panel and we vote. Yay or nay. Are you for swingers? Yay or nay, and then we'll do a head count, and then we'll get some population information, and we'll get it going. I can't. Let me get my pen, guys. I'm so excited. We're gonna go around the panel.
Steph is looking so disgusted.
I gotta get this notes. So we're gonna say swingers, right? The column here. So yes. If you're, we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna dig into it a little bit. All right, let's just start with Shelly C. Swinger. Are you yay or nay?
Yay.
Yay! Okie dokie, artichoke. I know moms. And then from Shelly C. Rashid. Yay, nay.
Nay.
Nay?
Nay.
Shelly, we already got one.
I could be alone. I'm okay with that.
All right, and then I need to go to Miss Tanya Michelle.
That's Joel is looking right down my throat. I say it depends. You have a depends.
Oh, wow.
I say it depends. As a married woman.
You got a depends.
Swingers are not married, are they?
Yeah, swingers are married.
Yeah, swingers are married. They swing with different people.
Yeah.
Oh,
then
no. If I was single going around, that's like an orgy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Swinging, no.
No? Tanya did it. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna just keep it moving. Got to move it moving, Lori G. Okay, Gerald, Big Tap, NYC.
My ex-wife, no. Maybe my new one, who knows?
What about you? What about you, Tap?
You,
Being married, I'm not, you know, it doesn't bother. I mean, I would, okay, come on, you know, if it ain't, yeah, I can do it. Like if it's, if you
All right, Tap.
Okay, yeah.
if we allow you to do your thing and me do my thing, I mean, it has to be established properly in the beginning. I don't want it to just creep on me and just all of a sudden, pow, I find out. But if we have a, you know, an understanding,
An agreement.
Rule of engagement.
maybe. I don't know. Never, you know, I mean, the world is changing. The world is,
But you
Better
know,
get with the
what's
bird.
the
What's up? You
agreement?
get your head out your ass,
But
huh?
with swingers,
What
there
was
is an
that?
agreement.
No,
But
no,
What was that?
I was just saying, I'm piggybacking being dramatic when you said the world is changing. And I agree with you. And I said there's a slogan sometimes that my big guy tells me, he goes, you better get your head out your ass, meaning you better get with the program, get your head out your ass and get ready for the change. Shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's just an open mind. I'm thinking, and then,
But you know what, though?
benefactor, Lori G.
You know what?
Swinging
Guys,
out.
guys.
I am not a swinger. Nope.
I'm sorry, Tab. Go ahead, Tab, because I want to give Lori specialized attention. So, Big Tab, forgive me. Go ahead, sir.
You know what? Women, it depends. With one man, a woman will be the most like innocent, nicest woman in the world. But with the next crew or next guy she'd be a damn swinger. It just depends on the individuals, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? It just depends on the individual. You
Okay.
know, I might can bring out something out of Tanya Michelle that I couldn't bring out of Sheila C. Or I might bring out something out of Lori, and Lori could bring something out of a friend of mine. And, you know, all of a sudden, you never know. But, you know, our day and age, especially black women, I think the swinger shit, that's more on white people. You know, that's freaky shit. So, you know, black people are more conservative, I think, in a whole. Do you think that? I think black people are more conservative. But black people are getting a little freakier, though. But
yeah.
I don't think it has anything to do with race.
With Ray, yeah.
Yes, it does. I'm telling you it does, because a sister don't play that shit with their man. They don't play that shit.
You talking about freakiness, or you talking about, I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about sharing.
The swinging part. The swinging
Okay,
part.
from our Zoom room.
We got the Zoom room, guys. I'm sorry.
The Zoom room says, I've asked the Zoom room to vote. They're not voting, but Stevie Johnson, who listens to us faithfully, thank you, Stevie. He says he is on the floor laughing, Big Tap. Go ahead. You got him cracking up.
Yo, I'm telling you, sharing. I mean, the sisters ain't sharing they man. Are you kidding me? You know what I mean?
Sharing mans for years. It's called a relationship assistant. We did a whole show about that. Remember that, lady?
Yes, but Mr. Big Tap, we not asking.
Here we go. Go ahead, Ty. Go ahead, babe.
We asking about what you gonna do, not the ladies. You always take us down a different road. Answer the question. Are you a
Okay, hold on. Damn. Yeah, well, you know what? Listen to, I don't want to tell the whole nation, because I know we got a lot of listeners now. I don't want to tell the whole nation. I'm a freaky deaky. You know?
Gerald's down for the swinging. He's down with the swirl.
But with me, right? Y'all ain't gonna like this.
What?
I can't, no. I'm not even gonna go there. We're gonna stop right here, because we're gonna stop right there. But
Gerald is being bashful tonight.
no, I'm not being bashful. What I'm being is Politically
Terrible.
correct. Politically
Okay.
correct.
Politically correct.
I
Yes.
want to get Lori G's vote, Tapper. Don't you want to know what Lori
Because
thinks?
you
Where
know
she
what,
votes?
y'all, you know what? You women
What?
on this panel is making a freak out of me. That's what y'all doing indirectly. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
JackieRadio.com.
And
He done brought the, he said freaks
Michelle.
come out at
Michelle
night, so
said-
the freaks
look
come
at Tanya
out at
Michelle.
night.
Tanya Michelle, like, okay, well, he's right here now. We're going to get him. We're going to get him.
You tripping, Tab. Big Tab.
Wow.
You're
I know I'm
tripping.
tripping. Look
We
at
love
Rashid.
you.
Rashid got his hands up like that. I ain't got nothing to do with this.
She's like, I'm good. I'm good. Lord G, are you gonna get your swing on? Because I gotta tell everybody. A vote, not you personally, but a voter.
I'm voting. Yes, I'm voting now.
Okay.
And I must vote no. Not swinging.
You're not down with the swing.
But-
Lori said canoe.
I want to put something else on the table.
Okay.
Voyeurism.
Who?
What is that?
Voyeurism.
Boyer.
Plain, please.
Yeah. I'm open to watching.
Can you spell it?
Wow. You know, that's real talk.
You better be a spectator. my man.
Voyer. Spectators.
Okay.
They have a place for you
Okay.
in Hollywood.
Voyeurism.
They have a place for me where?
They actually have a sex house where you can go by and look at everybody having sex.
They have clubs like that too.
Do they?
You know what, like, remember I was saying, you guys said it wasn't a black or a race thing. You don't see a lot of brothers, like y'all two beautiful sisters. I wouldn't get excited if y'all started kissing. You know what I mean?
No,
But
You wanna look to the
white
stars. That vision is-
guys will get excited if two beautiful women start kissing. They get excited from that crap.
I hear that. I hear that.
I
You
don't
see
think
what I'm
it has to
saying?
go along racial lines. I think it's what excites you.
But I'm saying in a whole though, Lori,
Thank
you know,
Gerald's like, no, I'll put you on the list.
we're not with a lot of stuff. It's different, man. It's a whole different animal. I think we more conservative. Brothers and sisters, we doing a lot of crushing, but we more conservative. You know,
You know,
the
Joel,
other
I
race,
think you have very, very traditional ideals. What do you think?
wow.
You're pretty traditional.
I'm conditional, right? I am traditional, but don't get it twisted. I am traditional, though.
Mhm.
But I am also I'm exhibiting a lot of things also.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
There we go.
I'm free.
Well, that's good. That's good. So along that line, guys, with the relationship things we got going on here, our conversation, I'm interested in so how would you go about creating sustainability in your relationship, right? Because the goal is you want a long-term relationship, or hopefully. How do you introduce these new concepts? You know, say you've been rolling along for 10 years and then you decide, hey, I like the idea of swingers. How do you integrate that into your relationship? Or do you not? Do you just always secretly hope that you could be a swinger? Or do you start swinging undercover and not let your partner know?
The definition
That's an affair.
is you both
Is that an affair?
Yeah.
affair.
I mean-
The definition of swinging is you both know and agree.
Right.
Right.
But
So how
Lori,
do you
Gerald
do
Barnes
that?
is saying that he tends to be very intimate, so he doesn't want to go where some other man has recently been. So he's not really down on the swing. He says that my woman is my woman, not mine, his, and that other guy down over there. So
Okay.
I just want to put that. Thank you so much, Gerald. But
But
I think swinging is, Lori, generally what you have to do. You have to go with your partner. right?
Right.
You know what I mean? You and your partner
Right, but
together.
I mean, that's cool. Okay. But how do you bring that up if that hasn't been, like Tap said, it needs to be a contractual agreement in the beginning, right?
Okay.
But I'm thinking about, for
So-
some people, you may not know in the beginning. So how do you introduce that new concept?
So
Right.
what happens is what they
Not
usually
necessarily.
do.
I agree. It doesn't have to be brought up in the beginning, but I think just like anything else in a relationship, when you're in a marriage or a relationship, even if you, however long you've been in it, whenever you feel like you need something or you want to change, I think it's only fair to let your partner know. So you ask them.
Yeah.
So right in the middle of the
Bring it
flow,
up like
y'all,
this.
it's
You
all
bring it up like
over.
this.
And when
Just
they
saying, the lady I'm with is around my age. Shit. Look, I'm 58. We can be honest. We can be straight. I'm telling her, if I feel that, I'm telling her from the door. You know, because especially if we close the deal, we made, and we that part. If we that part already, you know, I can just tell her, look, you know, I am who I am. You know what I mean? You see me. She gonna think I'm a fairly, you know, regular dude, because obviously every woman I think that I be with, man, that, you know, once they go over that and give themselves to you in an intimate way, you're special. So now that you think I'm special, how about this? Nah? What do you think? Would you get mad if I get?
I think you have to pick the time, Tap, to bring it up. I mean, there's
Even
just
at almost 60 years old, you gotta.
Yes, even if you feel it at 60, whenever you feel it, it could be at 20, it could be at 30, it could, whenever you're married. I think the success, part of the success of having a successful relationship, in any relationship, whether it's friendship or anything, is communication. So if that's something that you want to do, whether we're 2 years into the marriage, 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, 20 years, if that's something that you feel that you want to do that's different, I think it should be communicated to the other partner.
Can I say something though, sweetheart?
You know what? I don't know if it's that easy, right? I think we can communicate about a lot of things, but a lot of people really take a relationship as a possession, like they own this person, like they're a part of me. And I don't think that that's that easy. If that was that easy, then people wouldn't be having affairs, right?
I wouldn't say that it's easy, but I'm saying the fair thing to do. And I think I even approach this in being single. Give me the choice.
Yeah, but that's single, Shelly. If I come home and I tell Joe, or Joe asks me, do I want to swing? And I say no, but he's already asked the question. To me, he's already thinking about it. If I say no, that doesn't mean he's not going to do it if that's something.
That doesn't mean he's not going to cheat.
Exactly. That doesn't mean he's not going to.
There's a difference between cheating and swinging.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why people cheat, because people say no to swinging.
If they bring it up.
No. I disagree with that.
We might all be swinging.
Oh my God.
We might all be swinging if we had Will and Jada's loot, okay?
Right.
Okay? We
Funny.
all conservative people. We all out here making a good, honest living. But look, Will and Jada's in a different level, man. They done tried every damn thing. They got it like that. They probably looking for something new. You know, they swinging. They swing. Maybe if I pulled up to Tanya, Michelle, or Lori, or Jackie, or Sheila's house in that range, and I just took y'all for a fabulous first weekend in Saint-Tropez somewhere, and we had the most fabulous time and the best sex, I can pull up swinging.
Wow.
But if we just met, you know, and I was just a nice guy around, you know, and we met on a random at Whole Foods, and you know everything seemed so nice and everything, you might better wait. It just depends on the status and how things are. If I blow your mind, I can still go on that. If I blow your mind, but if it's a smooth kind of thing going in slow type of thing, then you gotta act accordingly. Will and them is acting accordingly because they got loot. They done did everything. Will Smith is Will Smith. Remember that. Jada Pinkett is Jada Pinkett.
Right.
And we are who we are. So, you know, now that we didn't have this conversation, we could come up with that conversation because we didn't have it. But, you know, other people can, you know, other people will feel stupid. But the reason we talking about this right now and everything, later in life, I wouldn't be surprised if one of you ladies told your husband, would you like to swing that, honey? You know what I mean? Because, you know, this is intriguing your mind. And maybe when I meet someone and I might come out with it. Because, you know, it's like, I'm 60, shit. I don't know how much longer I got.
That's so dramatic.
Lori, you was gonna say something.
I was going to follow up with Tanya Michelle's point. I think that if we have a good communication level, right? And this is another concept I want us to talk about is trust. So if I come to my partner and I say, hey, I've been thinking about swinging. I really think I would like to swing. And my partner says, no, I'm not interested. I think that we can I wouldn't go swing behind their back, right? I think we have to have that level of trust that if you're not comfortable with it, I may continue to bug you about it, but I'm not going to cross that line and just do it anyway.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's real talk.
What's the desire behind swinging is to have new experiences. Is that right? Or what is the reason why people swing?
That's a good way, Tanya.
The reason why people swing is to be able to have sex freely with others with the partner's permission, and there are no emotions involved. It's purely sexual.
And a lot of the times too, Shelly, like you were saying, to piggyback, sometimes people want to add more spice to their relationship.
Right.
There's a high rate for instance.
They don't want to sneak or cheat. They want to be.
Well, for instance, like this, Shelly, I did a little research on it, but check it out. Like for people who husbands or spouse travel a lot. You know what I mean? Like when you get those people that's like on a ship, fishing boat or something like that, and they're gone for 6, 8 weeks at a time, military scenarios. That's a high rate, like you were saying, Shelly, for swinging, because it's like the man or whoever, let's say if it's the woman who's staying home, the man's at sea, he wants to make sure she's good, she's taken care of. So we go together to the swinger spot. You know what I mean? This is a whole, like you said, it's a whole community. Everybody down with the get down, the hotel, everything is right there at your picking. And then he's kind of there to manage that at the onset, right? Mm-hmm. See who she's picking. Okay, so while I'm at sea working, I know for these 5, 6 weeks, she cool. So I don't have to worry about her having an affair because, like you're saying, this is just all, it just is what it is. It's your sexual act. It just keeps you satisfied. That sexual side of
there's an agreement. There's an
agreement. But when you start bringing that person home and start banging them in your own bed, that's when you cross the line.
Right. An emotion. An emotion.
But if you're the same person, go ahead, Tap.
But when we swingers, are we doing that and we ain't looking at our spouses? Are we in the same room watching them crush?
Sometimes you are in the same room.
Yeah, you are definitely a spectator. What you call it?
So
I said sometimes.
Voyeurism.
I'm kind of like I'm a watcher. Like, I'm a watcher. But okay, you know, you really gotta be. I don't know. Now that you know, I'm thinking of my wife. It's like, you know, some people too bent out of shape for that. You know, she might be doing it too damn. Come on, God damn, you ain't never doing it with me like that. I'm a real competitive dude. You know, she might tell me you wasn't giving me this much dick either. You know, excuse me, I'm sorry. You know, women be, you know, they'll tell you that they might slip up and say something that's, you know, like inferior, make you feel inferior or something. I'll be like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But then, you know what I mean?
You're not going to be seeing, isn't the whole idea that you're with the person and I'm with the person.
Yes.
Oh,
So
they
you
say
should
it-
be into what with your person. You're not over here in my business with my person.
Right there.
Right.
That's correct. That's
But
correct.
you're in the same room.
Not necessarily.
It can be either way.
You can be if you want to, but there's going to be times that you're not.
There's gonna be times you go over there banging out Barbie. You know what I mean? And she's over
Well,
there
you know
getting
what?
the
You
dick
know what,
pic.
y'all? You
You
know
know?
it's getting complicated now. I don't know if I like swinging anymore. I gotta be in somewhat kind of control or something. At least if I'm gonna be, I gotta make some fun out of it. At least if I know I'm getting upstood.
You're getting a blowjob, for goodness sake.
If
You're
I'm
having
getting-
fun.
if dude that's crushing my wife is upstanding me,
Banging her down.
to
Just
make a
boom,
joke about
boom,
it.
pile driving. Boom.
you know what I mean? Damn, this dude
I
is,
can't.
you know,
I can't.
you know, it's like, come on, man, Dan, this dude is hammering. I know.
That's the reality. Joel and I
I don't
have.
think I would like her.
Joe, you want to change your vote? You said
Go ahead,
yes.
Tanya.
I said that's the reality. We think about it. You know, sex, lust is you're swinging, and you're saying you're not gonna have any, but you keep doing this guy for a long period of time without your husband there, without this, and there's going to be some type of connection on one side. And so then what happens,
Possibly.
you start going to see him more than you seeing your husband. That's just
Possibly, Tanya. Possibly.
Tanya, you
That's
can't
why.
do
But
that.
look, what happens if she gets pregnant?
Right.
Yeah, but this is what I was saying.
Yes,
earlier.
that's what Gerald Barnes is saying.
This is what I was
That's possibly, Tanya.
That's what I understand. How do swingers? How can you be a swinger like me, y'all? I mean, I don't know about y'all. Y'all women, y'all should be this way too. But with me, especially, you know, when it comes to sex, damn, do I get the kid? My friends, I'm gonna tell y'all a little story. How I am. My friends used to have me. I come from New York to Philly when I was younger, and they used to laugh at me because they would have, you know, my boys got money. They always had money, so they would be waiting for me, and I would come home for the weekend, and they'd have a nice, expensive joint waiting for me, and they'd be in the back watching to see how long it'd take for me to start kissing her, because I gotta kiss. I gotta get, you know, I can't just get in form a joint, you know, and just, I'm an emotional dude. I mean, what do you call that, affectionate? I don't care who it is. If you fine and everything, I gotta at least kiss you. Or if it's just, you know, I gotta ask you your name, you know, and how you doing, where you from. I just can't go in like that. I can't just go in like that.
Well, Gerald, you need to change your vote because the swingers, they're not interested in your name and kissing you.
They just, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. You know what? Right. You know what? I'm a dud, B.
Right.
Because, you know what I mean?
He's a dud. Oh my God.
I'm a dud. I'm telling you, I'm a dud. I'm a dud because of the mere fact.
I can't hear you, T. What'd you say, Tanya?
Every woman,
Gerald, listen to Tanya.
That it would really help us out if you stayed one position. You can't be a freak.
Yes.
You're doing a but you a dud.
No, but you know what? This
who are you, Tab? Who are? Just tell us who you are. Just be who you are.
Listen to me. I'm Gerald Tapper.
Yes, sir.
I'm Gerald Tapper, sweetheart. But listen, I don't understand how you guys. I mean, I don't understand. You know, even though it could be in the 400 or 500s, I don't know, but I've always been an affectionate person. The women that I be with, it always has to be more than just, you know, I just never had that. I don't like pornos. I don't like hookers. I like to meet a woman and be personal, okay? I don't know, that's just me. And even when I was married—
I'm telling you, you are not a swinger candidate. You need to
change your vote because we need to be in agreement. That's what I'm thinking. I think everybody's missing it. With a swinging couple, there is agreement. There is an agreement that we're okay with sleeping with other people. There's an agreement. We're okay with that.
Yeah.
So if there's no agreement, then there's no swinging. If someone goes out, that's cheating.
That's just an affair.
Because
It's an affair.
any one of y'all,
And that makes it worse, the low key, right?
yeah,
Right,
you know,
because it's done on the
It
down.
breaks the trust.
Tanya, I just lied because if I've just met any four of y'all, and you guys, and I was smitten, if you guys caught my heart, I couldn't do that shit. I lied. I couldn't do it.
Gerald lied. He thought he could do it.
I couldn't do it.
Retract your vote.
And
Retract it.
Check your vote.
And I'm older still. You would think I can do it because, you know, I'm pushing 60. I still can't do that crap.
Well, you got to retract your vote. You got to retract.
So you know what it is? I'm too darn possessive, man.
Oh, wow. That's an interesting word, ladies.
Yes.
But that's what I said. People think their partners are their possession. And so a lot of times they can't willingly do that. And most times they just end up having affairs because they don't want to share their partner like that.
Right. They just want to be able to share their own, but they don't want to share their
I'm not willingly sharing that. I'm not willingly doing that.
You're not willing to share your partner. Well, what most people are not willing to share their partner, but they want to share their own stuff. See what I'm saying?
I mean,
And you know what? That's where, you know what? You girls are smart. That's where I'm fucked
That's
up
the
at.
difference.
That's where I'm fucked up. I will share my shit freely, like all the time, but I still love my partner. How do I do that? And I'll cry. I'll do anything if I make them.
But you can share yourself, right? Like Mr. Charlie said, it's okay until the other person's doing it.
Right.
Mm.
And
See,
that's
it's
what's
all
What is that about, though?
goes by me.
Wouldn't it be better to just talk about it and have an agreement?
Right. That's the swinging part.
Yeah. No. I love my sister. But
no.
listen to me, y'all. Hey, you know what? You'll never get that out of me. Hey, you know what? My woman is my woman. If I ever even have a woman again, I might just stay single so I don't have to go through that crap. But if you are we official, it's not going to happen with you. It's not going to happen. And you know that.
Okay, well let's take another turn on this, right? So we are talking about relationships, introducing the idea of swinging. You have a partner who wants to swing and the other one doesn't, and so now there's a question of trust. Because this person has this thought in their mind, has that shaken the trust in your relationship? How do you garner trust and keep it? And what do you do when it's broken to rebuild it?
I can't answer that one.
Ooh, that's
Tanya Michelle?
Yeah, I think that's a sacred part of your marriage, or it should be.
Trust?
Well, your sexual relations. And if somebody's asking me, could we swing, and I say no, I don't think I would trust them. To me, it's already in their head and it's something that they're going to do. And so I don't think I would be able to trust them anymore. I'd rather not know.
But so how do you rebuild that trust? Is it rebuildable for you, or is it just completely dead?
Well, Lori, if she don't know, then what reason does she need to trust him? Because she said she'd rather not know. So he could, if he don't ask the question, and he go out and do whatever.
Right, but he won't know not to ask.
No, once he's asked,
he's not in her mind.
I don't even want. Don't ask me that. Don't ask. Don't ask me.
Okay.
I'll never
Tanya Michelle, are you ever in the, like you asked me just, Tanya, do you ever stay in a position?
I stay in multiple positions, Tab.
Oh my God, I bet you do.
JackieRadio.com. JackieRadio.com.
What I'm saying is that I just don't even ask me, because once that question's out there, I think that I'll always be thinking that that's probably something you're doing.
Right.
I was against swinging. That's why I was against swinging. Because if I'm asking somebody to do that, that means I have a need for something else.
Right. You have a different need.
Tanya, that's real talk.
If
So
they,
really, like,
if they say no, that doesn't mean that I'm going to stop trying to fulfill that need. That means I was trying to include you in on it. But the need is still there, so my mind is still going to be curious. All that stuff is still there. I'm still probably going to go that way. And so,
well, what happens to self-constraint? And you said marriage is sacred. What happens to that sacred
vows you made to God?
Yeah, but
yes, Tanya.
But we can't put sacred with asking your husband to swing.
Or what?
Right, but I can't. But how can you control? So let's say I just developed this primal urge that I want to try this out. So I'm supposed to suppress that and not share with you? You rather not know that that's what I feel and that's how I'm existing in the world?
Because you don't want to do it?
If the question was, I'd rather you come to me and say, you know what? I have this desire to do more in our marriage. I think we should try role playing, or I think we should try this. This is something I'm interested in. And then I say, okay, let's try this. We'll try whatever. But if there's, to me, this sexual need or desire or fantasy that's not being met at home, that's what I think. And I could be wrong because I don't know a lot about it. So once someone says that, that lets me know right there that they're interested in doing something else besides what we're doing.
I agree with you, Tanya. Okay. I think I would want to know, because I want to have the choice whether I want you to go and be somewhere else and then come back and dip where over here. I'd rather have that choice than for you to just say, okay, I know she's against it. Let me just go in here and do what I want to do and then come on back. No, don't dip over here. I'd rather you tell me and give me the choice than for you to keep it from me and do your dipping and come back and dip over here. No, we don't do that. We don't.
Yeah, I'm too emotional for that. I can't.
You can't be dipping. I'd rather you tell me, because then we could take, like Will and Jada, we could take a break.
But swingers don't take breaks, Shirley. Swingers
no, but we've gone from I express my desire. You either say yay or nay. If you say nay, like you said, you'd rather not know. I would rather know. I want a choice as to whether you can dip on both sides. I want a choice with my health, whether I want you to do that or not.
But I want to know why we can't work on the trust, you know? If I feel this way and I express that, right? That we can't say, okay, well, obviously there's a fantasy component of our marriage that isn't being satisfied for you. I can't swing, but what else can we do, right? To kind of satisfy.
Yeah, Lord, Gerald Barnes from Facebook says that you do need to role play. He says, I could dress up in a UPS uniform and deliver a nice fat package. I added
that's different than swinging. That's different than swinging.
That's a little different from swinging, Shelley.
That's just role play. Just
role playing.
Be the pizza delivery guy or something.
Right. Ooh, Meg said that's double dipping, guy.
I want a choice in that. So don't keep it from me. If that's what you want to do, give me the choice, whether I want to participate and be the second dipper or not.
Can you just say, okay, let the person do it, Tanya Michelle, and just let them get it out their system? You know what I'm saying? You just do it that one time.
I don't know if I would ever be able to have that relationship with any knowing, because I know for me, I can only talk for me. If that happened to me, and I went out and I started enjoying sex or doing it, you know, whatever, I may be doing it more often than my husband thought I was doing. That's just the truth, right? That's just life.
That's swinging.
If it's good to you, it ain't swinging. He ain't. You know, this whole swinging shit confuses me.
What I'm saying is, what I'm saying is that's the thing you take when you swing. That's what I'm saying. When you swinging is both in agreement. But yeah, you might swing in and enjoy homeboy with the big pheromones, That's the chance you take with swinging. So if you gave me the permission, but I get over here with old boy and I love the pheromones and I love everything else, and I just fell on it 5-6 times a week.
I'm gonna tell you guys a true story, and I won't say any names, but Joel and I have a friend, and they were going to bring this lady into their relationship, and they both agreed on this lady, and she walked home one day, and he was with the lady without her.
That happens.
And they got a divorce. They end up getting a divorce because at some point it seems okay and it seems fun, but at some point somebody is going to cross over into something different, and then it's going to end up fair because they had a consensual agreement that they would all three be together, and now she at work and they home. That's fair to me.
But I think, Tanya,
that's a violation.
Other relationships, that's a chance.
That's like a side effect.
That's the side effect. Like Jackie said, I think that's the chance you take with that type of relationship. Just like when you first marry somebody, you say till death do us part. You may really mean it at that point. But who's to say somebody along the, it's all in falling in love and getting married. Who's to say somebody else don't come along and change your mind? Same thing with swinging. We got an agreement. We won't do our separate things, but we both know that there might be a chance that one of us ain't coming back.
Yeah,
and I think the swinging is a little bit better because you have a choice, right? I don't know, y'all. What y'all think?
My vote is still no.
Tanya said her vote is still no. I don't blame you, Tanya Michelle.
I hear you.
Jackie,
what do you think? Oh, I'm kind of on the side. I was thinking like on the Will and Jada type of situation. It's been a while, and people are kind of gotten older, or in your marriage, if you will. And if that person think they wanted to spice it up a tad, and they thought that would be a way to spice it up, I was thinking maybe it's an option. What do you guys think?
I think it's an option.
I didn't want to be like a Debbie Downer. You know what I mean?
You know what? Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
You guys have great. I'm gonna tell you something that I realized. You have all of y'all have great relationships because you, from the topic and how intense the topic is, and it's a hard topic. And I'm quite sure all of your husbands is watching, and that means that your relationship is solid because, what you guys are saying, man, is like, this is like some, I know me personally, I'd be like, get the hell out of here. But, you know what I mean? I can tell the way you freely indulge in our conversations that you have the freedom to say how you feel. That's a great relationship. I never had that. I always had that, jealousy type thing. I got that effect on women. They get jealous.
Uh-oh. But I think sometimes maybe a lot of it is maybe conversational, if you will. Like, you just want to be able to talk about it. You may not even have the conversation with your partner. You may decide, I don't even want to need to act on it. But like Shelly was saying, if you just felt that need, I think it would behoove you to at least kind of talk about it and see. But I understand Tanya Michelle's position too, that once that seed has been spoken, you're like, the eyebrow is raised. So I don't know. It is a pretty intense topic tonight, guys. And it's awesome.
I think the thing that's on a good question to, another question, I don't know if you want to go here, Jackie, is that once, what do you do in your marriage if your husband or your wife decides that they don't want to take it up to another level?
Mm-hmm.
What happens there? I mean, Joel and I have been together for 32 years or 31 years or something like that. But the thing about it is I'm always trying to figure out what else creative we can do. Like, whose role is that, or whose role is not, or, what that is. And at some point, that everything that one person wants to do is not the same thing the other person wants to do. So then how do you balance that out in your marriage? Because
I think it's like communication, right?
Mm-hmm. Communication and compromise. That is the key word. Communication and compromise. Those two.
Right.
If we're talking about working it out.
I mean, you got to tell me what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. You got to be specific.
I think you're on mute, Tanya. Tanya, you're on mute. Oh, are you talking to us? I'm not sure. I'm sorry.
Did you hear what I said?
No, I didn't.
What did you say, Tab?
I said Tanya has to be specific. I want to know what she's talking about. Like, you have these roles. I've been trying to be specific with y'all. Y'all be, just speaking in roundabout. I want specifics. When you saying roles, what are some of these? Can I have some of these roles you're talking about?
Look, 60 and don't know what that means. I don't know what to do for it. So, I mean, it's different for everybody. And
Right.
It just depends on what people want to do, but I'm just saying.
No, but Tanya, nothing for nothing. You shouldn't be having that. Because if a woman is saying anything to her husband about roles, speaking on sex, that should never be a no. How about that?
What you mean, Gerald?
I think, Tap, what you do a lot in your conversation is you generalize. You don't allow individuality of people. And
I might. I'm very
right. There's
I'm a drink. I do.
Yeah, but there's some people that may not like certain things in sex. Period. I mean, that's
really. I never knew that. I never knew that.
Okay, so never mind.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You go to the sex store. Everybody sees these long ass balls that are about this long on a string that you're supposed to, that they say you put up in a man's behind and you pull them out. Every man doesn't like that.
Oh, okay. Well, you getting like that? Yeah, that's.
No.
You're not doing it. No. Oh my God.
No.
Gotcha. That's being
This is
specific.
Jack's Radio.
Okay.
I have to say,
Any more
specificity
specificity for you, Pat?
But listen, but you ain't going. Yeah, that ain't something you want. Yeah, I understand. You took it to the next level. Yeah, but that ain't something you. I mean, but you're talking more conservative, more different shit. You ain't talking no craziness like that.
Well, I'm talking about in relationships, you don't know what somebody's creativity or what they want to do. That may be to the left for somebody, that may be normal. So I think it depends. You just never know.
I think you're correct, Tanya. And I'm going to be honest with you. What I have learned, Tanya, I think, and I want to say this to the panel, what I have learned in being in a relationship for 15 years and then being outside of that relationship for 20, what I have figured out is you have to be prepared. And I think that's what I wasn't prepared with my first marriage, that we are going to change and grow within this marriage and relationship. And I think that's what's different about me this time. So I think that I might go into a relationship now knowing that this person may want this right now, but there's a possibility that they may change. They may want to compromise something different. And I have to be willing to either accept it or not accept it. And I think that's what's the difference for me this time, in knowing that I may get into a relationship with somebody that may want to change the whole ball game. And I have to know that that is a possibility, that what he may want today may not be what he wants in 2 weeks or 3 years or 8 years from now, or 3 kids later or 2 kids later. I have to be able to know that. And I think that's the difference. I think we all need to realize that if we ever do have another relationship, there's a possibility that the ball game is going to change. Because I think being as young as we were when we got married, we didn't think the game was going to change. We thought the game was going to stay the same throughout. From now until eternity, we're going to all be the same. Nothing's going to change. We're going to have the same type of love, the same situations, the same desires. But as we get older, we realize things change. We have different desires. And I think that we're all open to the fact that that might happen.
Yeah, I think you have to be open to, I just think, as Tanya said, communicating. You have
Mm-hmm.
to be open with communicating. And, you know, I learned about this thing called active listening, right? And I think that's really important when you look at relationships or marriages or whatever you have, because it's one thing to say, oh yeah, we're communicating, and you're not talking to each other. You may be talking at each other, right? But if I'm actively listening, I'm hearing you, and I'm not preparing my rebuttal or my response, right? I'm really listening and not judging what you're saying. And I think oftentimes when you're in long-term relationships, that it's easy to get away from that piece, right? At least that's my experience, that I have to remind myself that I have to really engage.
And that's what I meant by compromise. It's kind of like what Tanya Michelle said last week. When I say compromise, I'm not saying you're compromising, meaning you're giving in. But like Tanya said last week, she came into the marriage, she was cooking every single day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Well, now she and her husband have compromised and saying, she said, well, you know, maybe I'm going to do it 3 times a week now. And he's like, you know what? I'm okay with that, baby. All you had to do was tell me. So that's what I mean by compromise. They came to a compromise about that particular thing, that cooking. She's not doing breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Now we've talked about maybe me doing it 3 times a week. And he's okay with that. That's what I mean by compromising. So I think it's the same thing in all aspects. If we decide 10 years from now, maybe when we first came into it, it's just you and me, baby. We in love. We ain't doing nothing with nobody else. But then one person says, hey, this is what I want to do. Either you're okay with it and you compromise it, or you're not okay with it. Maybe it's a deal breaker. That's what I meant by, and I think it's the same thing as what Lori said. I'm listening to you. I'm not completely shutting it down or shutting you off, but I'm listening to what you want and your desires, and then I can either say whether I'm on board with it or I'm not.
Yeah, but I think even with the compromise, because when Joe and I went through that, Shelly, you made it sound so sweet. Like, you know, like, oh, yes, baby, sure. Well, it wasn't like that. It was a tug of war and war for a long time. And I think there's ups and downs that can occur before a compromise occurs, right? And you have to be willing to keep that conversation going, especially when it's stuff that people expect or is matters of the heart, right? And so I was listening to you talking, so I was like, well, who was that she's talking about? Who compromised that easy? Because it sure wasn't this one over here.
I'm not saying it's easy, but he listened to you. Did he not? Whether he liked it or not, he listened to what you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, but yeah, he
and to keep you happy, you might have gone through some ups and downs. You guys might have gone through a drowned out fight. It might have been 3 or 4 years later, but to keep you and to keep the marriage happy and to try to compromise and keep things going, he kind of said, hey, well, wait a minute. After whatever you guys went through, I love my wife. I want to take into consideration her feelings, and this is what she wants. Let me think about that.
And I think when I looked, and I think I said this last week, one of the things about compromising is bringing it up as soon as it becomes an issue.
Right.
Right? Because we hold on to stuff. And when I brought it up, I was like, I ain't cooking no more bucket. And I don't think that's
no.
I start feeling that way. I should have spoke up earlier. I think what happens, and Lori talks about that active listening. Active listening is something you have to do very hard when you have history with somebody. You have experience with them, and you kind of know how they think, and you know how patterns and stuff go. So sometimes you just automatically assume that something's going to happen a certain way. And I think my lesson has been to kind of bring it up before I get to a point where I'm angry, because then he's defensive, right? Now he's defensive. I can't get things in. He'll get defensive really quickly, and I can't get things through. And then I get defensive, and then something triggers that conversation reminds me of a conversation I had 2 years ago that didn't go well. You know, it just gets this.
So you're learning how to actively communicate and listen to each other and then compromise. That's basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, there was no complete shut off and not listening or either having any regards to what you're feeling. whether it
And
was
that's
positive.
interesting too, which one of the things is, how do you create that sustainability in a relationship? As you were saying, Shelley, how do you bring to the table that desire to work through those difficult challenges? It seems that some of the relationships I've observed with the younger generation, it doesn't have that longevity or that desire for sustainability.
Rashid, what do you think about that, being of the younger pop generation tonight? What's your opinion?
Okay. Talk about just relationships in general and longevity. Yeah, as you know, nowadays, you don't really see, you know, people having those, you know, long relationships, because I think I spoke about it last week, where literally the vows that you're supposed to be taking, they're not taken as serious as they should be. Because, you know, my feelings change, but, you know, back in the day, you know, there are certain things that you just had to put up with, which, you know, nowadays people aren't going to put up with that anymore. And so it's a new way of thinking, where it's like, you know, I'm like, if you hurt me in a specific way, you know, I'm just going to walk away. I'm just going to leave. And I'm going to find my happiness within someone else, someone that is actually going to, you know, I'm gonna make me, you know, I'm gonna feel special, you know, I'm gonna make me feel satisfied, and just, you know, and just make me feel like a complete person.
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with people really don't get to, know each other at the level that they should before they get married either, right? I mean, when I got married, you know, I don't know if it was initially lust that they had, and of course I love them and stuff like that, but to me it's just like, I didn't know what I wanted or how it would act out in my own marriage, right? You know, you look at fantasy and Dallas, you know, the house, the white picket fence, and all this shit, but no one really tells you how to sustain in marriage. The counselor that Joel and I went to for our marriage, they said, where couples make the mistake is that it's really a 2-year dating period before they get married. One is the love phase. One is to kind of know their values and beliefs. One is to kind of talk about opposing issues and working through them. And like all these things that a couple should go through before they get married, which will kind of let you really have a good idea of the person before, you know, you marry. You can't get married and then try to figure out, right, or values of children and stuff like that. And I don't know if I thought all those things out before I got married. If I thought about every single aspect like that.
But you wouldn't have known, right? I'm just saying, when you go back in hindsight, you wouldn't even have known to look for those things, would you say?
Right. And I don't know, but this lady that Joel and I went to for counseling, when we were having some issues, it said that that's what true counseling is about. You really go through these interactive phases before you get married to really get to know the person and how they think about things and approach certain things in life. You know, do you like to save money? No, I don't like to save money. Okay, well then, you know, usually the other person should handle all the money. You know, those things, but you end up dealing with those after you're married, and then that it becomes a more of a acrimonious conversation or a cantankerous conversation rather than a conversation of negotiation because you're not married yet.
Wow. Yeah. I don't know. Gerald, what did you see?
I don't know. She's smiling for some reason.
I just got a lot of love in me, that's all. That's all. I'm just listening to you guys. It's a great conversation today. I'm just listening. I learned a lot from y'all. You know what I mean? I realized if I would have married any one of y'all, the relationship, you wouldn't have left. I just married, the wrong person.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I know that.
No,
From the
you
way- Listen to me. So you're lying again? Are you lying? Yeah, you must be, because I'm listening to you. If you're telling the truth of what you're saying, the way I'm perceiving it from you, Lori, Jackie, and Sheila,
Shelly.
I can get along with all
Shelley.
you guys. Shelly, I'm sorry, Shelly. I get along with all you guys. Easy. I think it's because you're older and you're you know, it's like we're right there.
Older.
We're right here.
Rude.
Yeah, because my wife was very young, and it just that's another generation and shit. The way they think, it's not on.
I think, I don't know. Yeah, I think communication, that
the community,
that-
right, or in
that
many
communication is key, and that active listening. And I think what I really agree with what Rashid said, and I want to put that on the table for us, our generation, is we took the vows very seriously, right? And as Tanya said, we didn't really know what that meant. But here's the interesting part. Rashid said his generation says, okay, this isn't working for me anymore, so I'm not happy, I'm going to move on. Do you think our generation lived in that place where we said, oh, this isn't working for me anymore, I'm not happy, I'm going to move on? Or was it more like, okay, I really need to sustain this or stay in?
I personally
Well,
tolerated more than we should have.
Say it again, T.
I think that our generation tolerated more than we should have.
wow, so you.
That's
Yeah,
an
I think so.
interesting choice of words when
That's
you
very
say
interesting.
tolerate.
I don't know.
Why
if you-
tolerate?
Yeah, I just think, I mean, if we're all being honest, in our marriage, we've had some situations and we've worked through them, and not that necessarily they should have been worked through, but we did, right? And so to
Right.
me, you tolerated a certain situation for whatever the reason is, whether it's to still stay married, whether it's to raise kids, or whether it's to do that. You know, I think you go through some stuff and you hold on sometimes longer, and then that's what damages you in a marriage if you don't get any healing behind that.
So, Tanya, very interesting. Now, you knowing me from the conversations we had, and it's a great ongoing friendship, togetherness. Do you think I'm damaged?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think that, I don't think damage is not the word, but I think that there's some things that you probably wish had have ended up a different way, whether it was more, you know, communication, more going together. Some unanswered things that are really still concerning you about your marriage, but I don't know if I would put the word damage to it. You would have to define that. But I think that there's still some things lingering about your marriage that are unresolved for you.
And I mentioned that last week, that you can carry it into your next relationship. If you're not, be prepared that you might not get what you're looking for from your ex-wife. There's a possibility that you're not going to get that apology, or there's a possibility that you're not going to get, well, I messed up, or I'm sorry. But know that as long as you're looking for that, you're carrying it into the next relationship, which is not fair to the person that you're going to have a relationship with if you're looking for that from that person. I think when we come to the realization that everybody changes their mind and we get mad.
Talking
And
to
another
me
thing
too.
that I think, and I'm gonna let you talk, Tap, right after this. I think in my experience, in some of the experiences that I've had with other friends, there is a fear factor. There's a fear of the unknown. There's a fear of the other side. There's a fear of not being with this person anymore because I felt this person was the perfect person for me. So now what's going to happen to me if we are no longer existing as two, but as two separate people? So I think there's a lot that goes along with that. I don't think that it's just oh, I need to be with this person because I love them and I want to stay married to them. I think there's a lot of factors. There's children, there's fear, there's finances, different factors. And I think that they're there, but sometimes we confuse them with love.
Wow, that's deep. Do you think I'm damaged to that was Tanya's? What do you think?
Do I think you're damaged?
Do you think not damaged, but that's not a good word.
You know what, Tap? I'll be honest. I think you have some unfinished business, and the unfinished business has to be. You have to realize that sometimes that unfinished business is within, that we can't look to that person to finish that business for us. Sometimes we have to finish that unfinished business on our own. And I do think you have some unfinished business, because I'll tell you right now today, if I think you were to get in a relationship with somebody else, you're bringing some baggage from that marriage into that relationship. If you were today to get into a relationship.
That's why, you know what? Besides having a lot of fun on this show when I come on, I used to, at first I used to come.
Before you go on, our fee is $200 an hour.
Yeah, you know what? Tanya,
if you want.
Tanya, I was going to say, I get a lot of therapy from this. I do get a lot of therapy from this. And before it was fun. I used to get a lot of fun, and I still do get a lot of fun. But now it's like, you guys are really helping me you're putting a lot of good thoughts in my head instead of, because she don't know, Shelly don't know how she just hit it right on the button. You don't know how you just hit it. And a lot of things, and just to see how you interpret things. And I might speak to Jackie and Lori offset, but you guys really know what's going on, and you're in a woman's perspective. But I'm gonna tell you guys, my mind is kind of made up. Every day it gears more and more to my own thoughts and how I want to do it and how I want to end this thing and everything. But I still love to hear what you guys got to say, because it's, I'm learning something. But it's a lot of pride. I got a lot of things inside that, whereas though, I'm just like I said, I don't know. I have a lot of fear, Shelly. I don't know. I might be lonely the rest of my life.
There's fear in everything. There's
and a lot of things. But so what? As long as I'm in my kids' life, that's the best thing that happened to me.
Yeah, and believe me, they're the best therapy. And again, like I said, fear on all angles. There's fear of ending life. There's fear of what's going to happen to my kids. There's fear financially, what's going to happen to me. There's fear, what am I going to do if I don't have this person no longer? There's fear everywhere. And sometimes, I'm just saying, sometimes we confuse that fear with love. And I have to be honest. That's what I had to take a look at myself and say, I'm more in fear than I am in love with this person. I'm in fear of losing this person rather than being in love with them. I had to really take a look and say, you know what? I'm not really in love with this person, but I'm in fear. I'm scared. I've never been a single parent before. I've never been by myself. I've never handled a house note on my own. I've never owned a home on my own. I've never done this. I've never gone out and bought a car by myself. I was in fear of everything. And I, Shelly, confused that fear with love.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And I'm going through that now. And I think you guys just, are setting me on a path to, you're really letting me know that I'm on top of my game, because, like you said, Shelly, I'm dealing with all this on my own. But when I talk to you guys and hear your perspective on it, I realize I'm going the right path. And we don't even have to, because our other topics like entrapment and all the other stuff is way more funny than this. Let's not go on to the relationship of my boring life no more. Let's just go back. Yeah, let's just go back to that fun stuff.
Back to the entanglements, huh? No,
the
it's been great.
Yeah,
Well, we
entrapments,
could
entanglements.
talk
Yeah.
about Kanye West. That's where we could go.
Oh my
You
God.
think Crazy Way?
Kanye. Whoa.
Kanye.
Crazy Way.
Oh my gosh, Shelly, what you got in there? Well, I heard that he went to the hospital today. Rashid, I was just wondering if you could look on Google or TMZ.
Yeah, he read
if you happen
something.
to have that technology. What did he say, Shelly?
I'm just saying that there is mental illness. There is bipolarism. I mean, Kim had to come out and say, basically what it was. I think we've known it for a long time. Kanye hasn't been right since his mother left. And I think there are some point in his life where he, there are times that he gets off his medication. That's my opinion. I didn't read this anywhere, ladies, but it's my opinion that, for him to switch in such a way, and what Kim did say on the internet, basically she was trying to keep it private, but basically she's saying, there is a sickness, there is bipolarism, and basically they were trying to get him committed, and he wasn't having it. So I think when he gets back on his medication, if you ever notice, Kanye is very quiet when he's out in public with Kim and the kids. And I think that's when he's medicated. I think the only time he becomes very vocal is when he's not taking with like the Taylor Swift thing, the whole Taylor Swift thing, and the whole tweeting that he's been doing in the last couple of days. He wasn't on his medicine. Because because that medicine takes you from one end to the other. I know, because I had a family member, my aunt, my mother's sister. It takes you from one extreme to the other. There's never no middle. And if you notice that when he's with Kim and he's quiet and he's in public and he's taking those pictures and he's holding them kids and he's walking with Kim, he's on medication. He's quiet. There's nothing. And then I think that once he's off that medication, he becomes Kanye.
Right.
Because you can't, the medication doesn't give you a happy medium. It gives you one extreme to the other. It heavily sedates you, or you go off the deep end and you don't have your medication. So I don't know what you guys think.
But
Kanye may know more about that in the medical field, but I think, his kids are going to suffer from him being so bipolar, because some of the things he said about Kim saved my daughter's life, or I saved my daughter's life. I don't know what it was, but after I read that, I was like, okay, now the kids is getting involved and these kids are going to see this crap. That part,
That's disturbing.
Right. That's very disturbing. The kids are now involved.
I don't know, guys. What do you think, Lori G? You're kind of getting a little bit silent, and I wanted to get some input from you, because you guys, we've only got about 9-10 minutes left on this train ride tonight. So I've been having an amazing time, and I want to make sure we get in everything we wanted to talk about. So, Lori G, what are your thoughts?
I feel sad for Kanye. It's hard when you have a family member that, that really needs medical attention, and even if it's mental health attention, but they don't want to take it. And it's kind of like the family's helpless unless that person their rights have been taken away or something like that, and it's really hard to battle. I mean, isn't that like the rule, Tanya, that they have to be declared incompetent or something like that?
Danger to themselves, danger to others, or gravely disabled in order to get your rights taken away.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So he did put out a tweet because he was just, he just went to the hospital not so long ago for anxiety. But before that, he did put out a tweet saying that I would like to apologize to my wife, Kim, for going public with something that was a private matter. I did not cover her like she has covered me. To Kim, I want to say, I know I hurt you. Please forgive me. Thank you for always being there for me.
And at the same time, Rashid, at the same time we're all talking about Kanye West, he just made it to the billionaire status. I want y'all to know that.
Oh yeah.
He's a billionaire. Like 1.3 billion, okay? He got more than Jay-Z and Puffy.
Yeah, I think the thing about that, really has nothing to do with mental health, right?
Yes.
So the mental health situation is just, to me, it's such a sad situation because, you got to really find a therapist who can help balance out your medications. So you have to be underneath that treatment plan. And he has money to see the bills, but money doesn't help you that much with mental health. You could be with somebody and something can trigger you and you could swing, or something could happen. It could make you more depressed, or it could make you more bipolar or something like that. So you really have to have a family unit to approach this, but you have to be a willing participant too. And that's, I think, becomes hard in mental health, is that they don't, it's hard for somebody to maintain the willing participant part of it because they just feel like someone's in control of their mind, and they don't like that.
I think when you reach a money established of that amount, you're either going to go one or two. It's a 50-50 split. You're either going to go one or two routes. You're not going to have any couth, or you're going to become very humble. And I think he took the other route. He doesn't care about his, expressing himself. He doesn't care at all. He's going to say whatever's on his mind. He don't, no etiquette involved, no anything. He's just going to come out and do what he says because it affected him in a bad way and not in a good way.
His baseline personality. Go ahead.
What were you going to say, Tanya?
No, I was saying that mental health doesn't take somebody's baseline personality. I think that's who Kanye maybe is, and then he has mental health on top of that.
Gerald was saying that what is disturbing to him is that apparently you don't have to be psychologically evaluated before you have the permission to run for president. You know what I mean? Did you guys, any one of you all have the opportunity to take a look at the rally or any snippets from the rally that he held last Sunday in South Carolina? Did you guys check it out?
I watched a segment of it. Yeah, he was just erratic and all over the place. And, he had on a security bulletproof vest that he came out in and talked about a myriad of unconnected, tangential thinking type things, which made you feel, at least for me, made me feel sad for him. On so many levels, on so many levels.
I could dig that. But yeah, we just got to keep him and them, their children, in our prayers, and just know that there's a higher power and a higher source that can help them. Thank you so much, Rashid, for that information. Shelly, just briefly before we look at our time. Well, I guess not. Shelly, see.
We got about 3 minutes left.
Anything new on Tamar, Shelly?
Tamar has been in a facility. Being treated right now. She's out of the hospital. She's being treated right now, unfortunately. She's probably going to be down for a minute.
Yeah, that's hard times.
I think prayers is much needed. Again, like we said, when she mentioned about being a slave to her pictures, her music, she doesn't own anything, and she's asked the master to set her free. I believe it had to do a lot with her network. She was very upset with her network, according to her friend and her boyfriend.
Yes, yes. Well, we've had an interesting time here tonight. We're talking relationships, everyone. We've had an amazing class tonight. We had, of course, with us, Gerald Tapper from New York City. Thank you, Rashid, for your commentary and input. And of course, those very talented and wonderful ladies of the chat, i.e. Lori G, executive producer, Shelly C, and Tanya Michelle. She's the baby of bunch, but that little spunky one. We love Tanya Michelle so much. And I always have such a great time. And I just wanted to tell our Facebook listeners and our followers here on YouTube, because again, guys, if you haven't already done so, the show is growing, and God bless us. So God bless you for all watching us. But subscribe to the POJ show with JackieRay. That's on YouTube. We'll get everything out to you guys, and Daryl Barnes and David Johnson and Alyssa. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining us, because what we say is that time, right, is the one thing that you can't get back. Shelly, we always talk about you can get money back. You can get that Louis Vuitton bag back. You know, you're able to get that cigar back. I don't know if it's happening, but you
That car back, them shoes.
back right, the red bottom. But you can't get back home. So thank you for your time. Poetry of Justice Show with JackieRay Phillips on YikesRadio.com, CelebratingRadio.net. Podcasting at its finest. We love you.
Good night.
Good night.